Welcome to the No More Late Fees podcast. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Jackie. We're just two best friends and ex-Blockbuster employees rewatching some of the best and worst movies from the late 90s and early 2000s. This week, we are talking about the 1999 comedy Detroit Rock City with our guest, Megan. Welcome.
Hi, what's up, guys?
If you want to get to know Megan a little better, pause and go check out their trailer and then hop back on over while we discuss Detroit Rock City. But before we dive into the movie, let's get into some
housekeeping.
I think we nailed that.
Sure.
If you love the podcast and you want to support us, here are a few ways that you can.
Did you know writing a review and/or rating us helps us get more listeners? If you want to be featured and help us grow, head to Apple, Spotify, Podchasers, iHeartRadio, Good Pods, or whatever your favorite podcast platform is, and leave us a review.
If you like what you hear and want to buy us a virtual cup of coffee, head on over to ko-fi.com/no-more-late-fees.
We have merch in a new place. We have an Amazon store. Yes. We opened an Amazon store and we have handpicked nostalgic merch for you guys to enjoy. So head on over to amazon.com/shop/no-more-late-fees and check it out. You can also just check out the link on our social media platforms if you want to make it easier.
And in the show notes.
Let's talk about Detroit Rock City, Jackie. What is this movie about?
Rock-loving teens and aspiring musicians Hawk, Lex, Trip, and Jam can't wait to see their favorite band, Kiss, perform at an upcoming concert. However, when Jam's insane mother finds the tickets to the event, she incinerates them. I'm just reliving that scene in my head, leaving the boys desperate for a way to see the show. In their attempts to see Kiss, the lads endure misunderstandings, humiliation, and violence, all just to see their beloved idols. It stars Edward Furlong, Sam Huntington, Giuseppe Andrews, James DeBello, Lynn Shay, Melanie Linsky, Natasha Lyonne, and Shannon Tweed. It was directed by Adam Rifkin and written by Carl V. Dupree, and you can currently rent it on Amazon for $2.99. But before we start, let's get into our ratings rewind.
So, you know the drill. Before we get into the movie, we'll reveal the rating our Y2K versions of ourselves would give, and then at the end, we'll see if our current selves agree with the initial rating. So our scale consists of would buy it again,
the best, would play on repeat,
5-day rental,
would watch again,
2-day rental,
okay, but nothing to write home about,
and same-day rental.
Trash. Straight up disco trash.
Disco trash. All right, Megan, we're going to start with you. What was your Y2K rating? I think we already know, but just for kicks and giggles, is that what it's called?
Yeah, shits and giggles.
Thank you.
Yeah, would buy it again. I actually did go and rent it for a same day rental because I had never seen it before. So I actually did go and rent it and watched it. And after I watched it, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to buy this.
How about you, Jackie?
I owned it on DVD. Would buy.
Same. This is a stamp of a Jackie and Danielle movie for sure.
We thrive on the chaos of movies. Typically, if there's a lot of stuff going on and people are just running all over the place, we're like, oh, we like this.
Yeah.
It was an early sign of our ADHD.
And we just loved like indie teen movies at the time. And this definitely hit the mark. Now, this movie had a budget of $17 million. I don't know where that went, but
oh, I could tell you a few of those things for sure.
But it only made $5.8 million worldwide. It was a certified cinematic bust. But it is a cult classic now.
It is.
Absolutely.
And I think it speaks, like, I believe that every band who's like gotten to a really high point should make a movie. At the time when Spice World came out, I was like, this is real camp and crazy. But now it's like, this is cinematic gold, you know? The Beatles did it. I don't know why NSYNC didn't have a movie. Well, kind of. Two of them did, but that the Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, like all of them should have had a movie. I think that sets you apart. And I don't mean like as Beyonce trying to be an actor. I mean like Destiny's Child should have had a movie. Just saying.
Right. Yeah.
All right, Jackie, let's get into it.
Okay, so it opens. We are in, I'm going to say, a rumpus room because it's the 70s. The Jam's mom, come to find out, she's just got her wine. She wants to listen to some Carpenters. There's a rain lamp vibes happening. And then, so she pulls the vinyl record out of its sleeve, puts it on, is ready to relax. And I Stole Your Love by Kiss starts playing. She spills wine all over herself, screeches that it's the devil's music, and storms on over to get Jam from band practice.
I just feel like her reaction, I don't know if it's because we're so far removed from when this music came out, but I'm just like, this music is so mellow in comparison into the reaction that it got. Like, they had no idea what like metal was. Like, you're
like death metal.
These men are drag queens putting on a show. Like, I'm sorry, you can't tell me that that's not what they're doing up there. Those men are drag queens. And
the platforms, the makeup.
Come on. Come on. And I love every second of it. And the band Kiss, like, now I can appreciate how much they went against the patriarchy in a lot of ways. They're part of the patriarchy in some ways too, like how they are with women. But the fact that they were putting on makeup, they were putting on like what could be deemed again as more a female aesthetic, wearing wigs. They were Jewish guys, Italian guys, you know, like just not the standard Americana rock and roll. And
they were no Neil Diamond.
No, they were not. They were not Neil Diamond, but like, but also in the same breath, they were not. I don't look at that and say Satan worshipers. They were putting on a fucking show,
right?
Like, they were
I don't know
each other Star Child and stuff,
right? So just her reaction, like she's literally tearing up her living room to try to find the plug
because she breaks the little knobby off. And then my favorite part is she tries to lick it and stick it back on.
Oh my god.
It's just she was so extra with all of this. Like,
and did you recognize who she was?
From The Exorcist?
Lin Shaye?
Yeah.
Not The Exorcist. What movie is she in?
She's in a lot of horror movies.
She's like Insidious, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But she also played Magda in There's Something About Mary.
Is she?
Oh my gosh. She's like overly tan and yes.
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Same. We're gonna have to do that movie, Danielle.
I don't think I'm upset as much as you are. She doesn't like Ben Stiller.
Aside from Ben Stiller, I don't think it's gonna age well at all.
Of course not.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Anyway, so
yeah, Lin Shaye is amazing. I love her to death. She's also in one of my other favorite horror movies, Dead End. Have y'all seen that one?
No.
It's from 2003 or 4, I believe. It's very like obscure, like Lionsgate release, and she's hilarious. She's such a great actress, in my opinion. She's so good. And I was noticing that again when I was rewatching Detroit Rock City. I've seen it so many times, but every time I'm just like amazed by her acting. She's just so great, even though she's very dramatic, but she's just great.
She plays unhinged very well.
Yes, exactly.
So I find that the guys practicing or with their band Mystery playing a Kiss song was so believable because they sounded like shite.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. It sounded like they were really playing those instruments.
Yes.
Yes. And so they're practicing. Jam's mom shows up, yanks out the basement to take him home, and is screaming at him that KISS stands for Knights in Satan's Service.
So good.
And so then it's the next morning. Jam wakes up. Did his mom chain him to the bed with a workout spring?
I don't know what that situation was. And there's so many parts in this scene that just irritate me about him. Like, are you dumb, boy? Are you dumb, boy? Like, I was just...
Lift up the leg of your bed and then you're untethered and you can work on getting it off your foot.
Right. And it's okay if you miss the phone call. You're not going to die.
But he is going to die because they're calling in a panic because the KISS tickets are missing.
As soon as he got the ticket, as soon as he saw the tickets, he should have hid them or put them in a drawer or something.
He's dumb.
He is dumb. And when his mom busts in on him and he tells his friend he's got the tickets, no problemo. But then his mom busts in and is yelling at him because he doesn't want to shower. I want to
my favorite line is, she said, "Those jeans are so tight I could see your penis."
This mother is so beyond inappropriate. So she's like, you have to dress in the clothes I bought you. And she hands him this Kmart box.
Yes.
And
I didn't think what she got him was bad.
No, I didn't either. It just wasn't his aesthetic.
Yeah.
A little white linen pants and some
very 70s shirt, collared shirt.
Yeah. And
he stepped straight out of Boogie Nights in that outfit.
And I love that when he gets off the bus in those clothes that his friends are automatically you calling him out as a nerd and stuff like that.
So the mom hangs the jacket. He realizes he has the tickets. They were in a jean jacket that belonged to one of the other guys that he accidentally took home with them. And like you said, instead of hiding the tickets, he just leaves them there, and they're just jauntily poking out of the pocket,
right,
in full view. And his mom's ranting about how his clothes aren't clean and the jacket smells like BO and probably smells like weed too, because there was a lot of weed going on in that jam session. And so Jam shows up at school. His friends are making fun of him for his outfit. They're like, okay, well, where are the tickets? He's like, my mom's standing right there.
And I would have socked him for real.
I know.
It sound like, correct me if I'm wrong, his mom stood there and watched him get dressed? ?
Yeah.
Oof.
I could look, my mom was very here, I bought you these clothes. And I'd be like, okay. She's like, change. And then I'd be like, can I get some privacy? And she's like, I've seen it all before. Hurry up and get changed. So I could imagine that happening.
We see Jam in one of his classes. Melanie Linsky plays Beth. She's so precious in this movie.
I love her.
Squeeze her.
And I love that in every movie she tries so hard to hide her accent. And there's always just some words that she says that you hear it. But she was so sweet in this movie. And this one too.
It was her whispering. She couldn't whisper with an American accent.
No.
Because the rest of the movie, it was fine. It was just when she was whispering to him at the beginning in class, I was like, oh, there's that little Kiwi accent. So she's trying to tell him that she's moving, but it seems like they're in the middle of a test or some
they're in study hall, so they're not supposed to talk. So I think that's the problem.
And then she's getting ready to tell him hey, I'm moving. Also, I dig you. And then the principal comes over the loudspeaker of the entire school and is like, we need Jeremiah to the office. And then his mom gets on the PA and starts ranting because she has found the tickets.
I just as upset as my mom could be about anything that I could possibly do, I could not imagine her driving to school. Like, she's so mad that she has to get me right now. It doesn't make any sense. But she embarrasses the shit out of him.
Does this mom
Yeah.
work? Like,
I don't know. She works for the Lord.
Yeah.
She's pushing for Jesus.
She is. So he meets her in the principal's office. She's like, I'm taking you to boarding school. Get in the car right now. Oh, by the way, your tickets up in smoke, and literally lights them on fire and uses the tickets to light a cigarette.
I just love how the guys are around
so intense. Yeah.
around the corner watching. Like,
that scene is so intense. Like, they're all watching, and then it's playing like this intense, like some classical song, like while it's happening. I remember watching that. Like, I don't even know how old I was, like 8. I don't know when this movie came out. I was like, that was like my first feeling, like when I watching a movie where I was like, oh, like that feeling in the pit of your stomach when you, like, you know, wow, just
like,
she just
hate her. She does such a good job being a villain. She is the worst.
Yes, yeah, the worst.
I don't understand how the guys didn't run to go try to, like, put those tickets out.
Yeah.
I know.
And I was also thinking, like, did they not get like receipts or something? Like, can't they just go back to the ticket office and say, hey, we bought these tickets, but we
I guess
lost
not in
them?
the 70s, maybe not.
I don't know how things work back then, but I just don't understand how, like, those tickets are just
credit card receipt.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Or it was handwritten. It wasn't.
Whatever. Like, I bought these tickets.
How did they get them in the first place? That's what I want to know. Did they specify that? How did they get the tickets?
No, I think they just bought them. I think they just bought them. I think they bought them legitimately. So that's why I'm like, where's your receipt?
Or like, go and get like the little ends so that you can take them to the box office and be like, look, they're burnt, but we have tickets, you know, like something to try and prove. Yeah,
I guess there would be no plot of the movie. So yeah.
Jeremiah is whisked off by his mom to immediately go to boarding school that day.
Yeah, she's had enough of his satanic ways.
She has. And
then Elvis catches them in the hallway.
Yes.
Yeah. That guy is a predator and real creepy.
Yes. Thank you for saying that, because he was like hitting on the girls at the table at one point.
Cafeteria. Like, yeah. Gross.
So gross.
Yes.
So Elvis is chasing them. They hide out in the girls' bathroom, and then we get the very popular 90s trope
of girls taking a shit. I can't believe they do that.
Yeah.
That scene was awesome.
I do love how, like, when they see Elvis, they don't even panic at first. They're like, second floor bathroom, girls' bathroom. Like, they just know what they have to do. He's like
this dude's an idiot.
What is it? Is it Filch from Harry Potter?
Yes.
Same vibes.
Yes. So then we see Jams in the car with his mom. She's yelling at him about how he and his friends smoke the dope.
Yes. Yes.
And so they're driving to the boarding school now.
And she's smoking like a million cigarettes and has them all over her dashboard.
Oh my gosh. Like, the amount of smoking in this movie.
Yeah.
Is concerning, but also like, this is how it was in the late 70s.
Mm-hmm. I would never, if like I went back and time traveled, I would never be able to make it. I'd be like, ugh, y'all are gonna die.
I'm here from a strike from the future.
Student Tobacco Reform Initiative knowledge for eternity.
So now the boys are back in shop class. They rig up an antenna. They're trying to listen to their radio station, which happens to be giving away Kiss tickets.
They're so stupid.
They create this diversion for Trip to get out of class. And so he's like asking to go to the bathroom, and the teacher's like, no, fuck no. And so then Trip has like a ball syringe shoved down his pants, and he's just pretending like he's peeing himself. And then the teacher's like, "You're disgusting." I'm like, "Sir, you told him he couldn't go to the bathroom. Had it been a true emergency, he had every right to piss his pants because you
Right.
told him no."
What is that with the American school system? Because I don't think they do that in other countries.
They're so afraid that kids are like gonna skip and stuff that they like don't let you go to the bathroom, but it's so bad for like your bladder health.
I just think it's like a control thing.
It is.
Yeah.
A lot of it is. But and you kind of, well, as a former teacher, you kind of know the kids that are flight risks, like they're just fucking around in the bathroom just to avoid work. But then there are other things you can do to work on that.
Yeah.
Just
then not let them go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like they have no autonomy whatsoever.
Yeah. Like you just make them go at timed intervals, or like make them go during recess or something where like they don't want to go to the bathroom because they want to go and play. You just don't make it a fun thing to go to the bathroom. Anyway, that's my diatribe on appropriate redirection in classroom bathrooms. So Trip goes to the payphone in the school hall and he calls in. He wins the tickets. Everyone's super stoked.
I just want to know why out of all of them they sent the idiot.
Yeah.
Tell me how that made sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe he was the only one willing to fake piss his pants to get out of class.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, they win the tickets.
Mm-hmm. And then they realize, well, we got to go get Jeremiah from the boarding school. So they all sneak out.
And they steal Lex's mom's car.
Yes. And this is where we see Elvis being creepy to the girls, but then he has to chase after the kids. But it's like a 30-year-old, slightly overweight security guard versus 3 skinny teens. Like, did you ever think you were going to catch him?
Never going to win that.
So now they have Lex's mom's car, and they're on the way to the boarding school to get Jam. And so they've devised this plan. Did they order I guess
the priest ordered the pizza, right. So they like cut off the pizza guy and say it, they must have like paid him, and then they pretend to be the deliverman, and I guess they like spiked it with a bunch of weed or something. Mushrooms. And so the weird priest guy, who I just remember him as the dad from Freaks and Geeks.
Oh my gosh, yes.
he gets high as fuck, but he gets high so fast, like almost immediately, which I'm like, those must be some strong shrooms, or he's a lightweight.
Trip goes, it usually takes about 10 to 30 minutes to kick in, and I'm like, wow, those are some really powerful mushrooms.
So they're able to break out their friend and head on the road with pizza. They had pizza too in the car.
After the priest babbles on some crazy nonsense about Satan and Santa being the same guy, which is one of my favorite quotes ever. He's like, it's the same letters. It's the same freaking guy. It's the same guy. Like, he has like this realization that Santa and Satan are the same guy. I quote that all the time. Yes, that's great.
So now they're heading out on the highway. Making my way downtown. No.
Yeah.
I would love an overlay where it's just 1,000 miles over like whatever Kiss song they're listening to in the car. Be hilarious.
So yeah, they're driving, but
so the guys are now driving to Detroit because they won tickets. They need to go to the radio station, pick up their tickets, and then they can go to the concert. And they're just bullshitting in the car. We find out that Hawk has stage fright, which is why they haven't performed any songs. His intuition is correct because y'all not good.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And then all of a sudden they're driving, and I think it's a Sunfire, a Pontiac Sunfire.
Oh, I have it for you. Hold on. Because
am I wrong?
It's a 1978 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am.
Damn, I was so close.
You were. I would have just been like
Stella's and the Guidos.
yes.
And so they're I think the driver's name is Kenny. He's being real aggressive. He wants the Volvo to get out of the way.
But is it like only one lane? I thought there was like two. It was just, I was like, isn't this a major highway? Like, what's happening here?
I think they make mention that it's only one lane in either direction. And they're like, we can't even get out of his way so that he can go around us. And so the guy's just being an asshole. And so they throw a pizza out the window and it lands on their windshield. So now Kenny is even more pissed. He's like trying to essentially drive him off the road, get him to pull over. They finally pull over after he like bumps their car with his several times. And poor Lex is like, the paint, it's my mom's car.
Yeah, his mom's gonna beat his ass 100%.
And so then they like pull Hawk out of the car and rub his face so aggressively on the pizza on the windshield. And then for the rest of the scene, he just has like pizza cheese stuck in his hair. It's so gross to me.
It is so gross.
So Christine was not happy with Kenny's antics. She gets out, she starts walking. And then the other girl in the cart, does she have a name?
Barbara.
There we go.
The other Stella.
Yeah.
She is mouthing off to the guys as well. Kenny pulls out the 8-track that they were listening to of all their Kiss music, throws it in the road. It gets run over. They're arguing. And then Hawk knees him in the nuts.
Yeah, like I never understood why the 4 of these idiots didn't take these guys on. Like, why did they even let him wipe his face on the pizza in the first place? There's 4 of you.
Right.
And the girls don't look like they trying to get down and fight like the Alabama brawl.
The Kiss guys, they get revenge. And I love how like Hawk pulls his belt out of his pant loops. Like Trip pulls his wallet chain out. Like and Jem has his drumsticks. It's just
I'm like, what y'all really try to do? Get out of here.
All of a sudden they're this little gang. So
yeah.
But they kick the Guidos' asses. Ooh. I love it. And strap them to the guardrail.
And they use Barbara's makeup to make them look like Kiss. So that's extra bonus on top of it. And then they take a rock and crash the car. So even if they do get out, their car's fucked up. I mean, like, it's a lot.
Right. And then they cry at each other saying, oh, I got fag makeup on me. I got fag makeup on me. And they're both like crying, looking at each other. And she's just like, oh, I hate y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of times they use the F word in this movie is like excessive.
Yes.
Well, both the word fuck and the other F word. So I was just like, but it's very true to how homophobic it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
And so the boys continue on their way and they see Christine walking down the shoulder of the road. And so they offer her a ride to Disco Inferno.
I always wonder, like, if I was in the 70s, would I have been like Natasha Lyonne as like Estella, or would I be more of like a rock and roll, like stoner type if I was in the 70s? Because I love disco and I love rock and roll. So I'm like, I wonder what type of person I would have been.
I would 100% be into the disco.
Danielle's 40th birthday was 70s disco inspired.
Yes.
Nice.
And in high school, I actually was quite obsessed with the 70s. Like, you could tell me nothing about. My mom's like, why don't you like the 80s? That's the decade you were born. I was just like, no, I love 70s music. But then, like, in my 20s, I became obsessed with 80s music and the
Yeah.
80s. So I don't know. But wherever the Black people were, that's where I was going to be. And they were at the disco.
They weren't
right
at a Kiss show. So Christine is kind of like talking shit with the guys, trying to give it back as much as they're giving it to her. But she's also getting a contact high, which she gives into and takes a couple of hits and then immediately passes out. She's had an eventful day.
We have one of the most iconic quotes though. A couple of them in the car there. Whenever Lex says, "Your clothes may say disco, but your eyes say rock and roll." And then what else does she say? "Why don't you bend over? You're looking right at it." And they're like, "What?" That made no sense at all whatsoever.
I love Natasha Lyonne so much.
She's so good. And Gene Simmons like handpicked her for the role. Like he was like, it's got to be her. She's like the best for this role, which is so awesome. It's even more awesome that he picked her personally.
I wonder if it's because she reminds him of the real Christine, whoever he made that song about.
Probably. That's interesting.
Yeah, because the two girls in the movie, Beth, Jem's love interest, played by Melanie Linsky, is also named after a Kiss song, Beth.
So they finally roll up to Detroit and they get a primo parking spot at the radio station, and they go upstairs super excited, ready to pick up their tickets. And the guy at the DJ's like, yeah, y'all didn't give us your information, so we gave it to the next caller. And he has to like rewind, like actually pull the thing.
Yeah.
And when they get back into the elevator, the rest of the guys are like they're literally beating his ass because he just yells yes and just hangs up before actually giving his name and stuff. So now they have no Kiss tickets.
Have y'all ever won concert tickets on the radio before?
I haven't.
I have quite a few times.
No way. That's amazing.
I've won Foo Fighter tickets, Green Day, Walk the Moon, and She and Him when they toured for the holidays.
Damn, that is amazing.
You have good luck. You need to play the lotto.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And the Green Day concert was so amazing. And it was like, and my coworkers kind of knew at a point, like if I was a teacher and I'd be like, hey, I need y'all to cover for me because I'm sitting in the car waiting to give them my info because I am not like Trip and I know to give them all my information.
Right.
But I'm like, it'll be like 10-15 minutes and I'm here, but I can't come in yet. But yeah, most of the time it's trivia stuff. But yeah.
That's so
like
cool.
Calling in. And working from home now, I don't listen to morning radio, so I don't ever have those opportunities anymore to win tickets.
I always just assume that like I'm not gonna win, so I never even like try to call in, but that would be really cool to win.
And now a word from our pod pals.
Hey, I'm Blake.
And I'm Dave.
And we're the co-hosts of First Prize Films.
It's a comedy podcast where we take two films of the same genre,
separated by at least a decade,
and battle them to the death.
Metaphorically.
Nope, literally.
God.
So if you want to hear two dickheads talk about genre movies,
and hopefully give you a couple laughs,
then search First Prize Films on your favorite podcast platform.
Or find us on social media at First Prize Pod.
We also stream every week on Twitch.
Swing by, chat movies, and tell us how fucking dumb we are.
Because we're pretty dumb. See ya!
Bye ya!
Now back to the show.
Yeah, the guys are distraught. They walk out of the radio station and the Volvo is no longer there. So their car's been stolen with Christine sleeping still in it.
No one seems to be concerned about her at all.
No, they don't. They think she stole it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they're just like kind of down and out, trying to figure out how we're going to get these tickets more. And then there's a huge protest for Kiss. And guess who's leading the charge with the bullhorn? Jam's mom. So she has traveled to Detroit, the dangerous city,
Right.
to go and protest the Knights of Satan. And so
Mothers Against the Music of Kiss, Knights in Satan's Service. Also, I want to point out that her like the mom that's like to the, I guess, left of her with like a brunette woman was Paul Stanley's wife in real time during filming. So she was one of the Mothers Against Kiss. So that's pretty interesting.
Apparently his daughter was also, she had a role in the movie and had a like scene with Eddie Furlong, but it got cut. I mean,
really?
mind you, this movie uncut was 3 hours long, so they had to apparently cut a lot. But then, so I guess Paul talked about it in his book, and he was pretty pissed. Let me read it exactly.
I think I did read that, yeah.
So in his book, No Regrets, Ace Frehley states, it's actually Ace. It's not. Okay, Ace's daughter. He states that his daughter Monique had a scene in the movie with Edward Furlong. However, when she saw the movie and discovered that the scene was cut, she was very devastated. Ace said that ever since then, he never looked at Gene Simmons, who was the executive producer of the movie, the same way again. Yeah, and I'm just kind of like, there's so much stuff that can fit in a movie. Like,
right.
Put it in the bonus features, like, she's not gonna die.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I'm sorry. What is going into this 3-hour movie? Because I feel like this was just enough.
Oh, I know.
I don't know.
There was a lot going on already. I can't imagine another hour and a half.
Yeah. But I haven't watched my DVD in a while, so I don't even know what bonus clips, but they released it on Blu-ray not too long ago. So I wonder if there's some of that stuff in there. I need the
Blu-ray. I need it.
How come you haven't gotten it yet?
I don't know. That's one thing that like that's my newest like obsession right now is collecting Blu-ray. I never really had an interest in Blu-ray until recently, and really it's always just been VHS and DVD. So I have so many doubles of like the DVDs and the VHS, but now I'm like, oh, I want Blu-rays. I don't know why, but yeah, so I'm just now starting to collect like all my favorites on Blu-ray as well.
Yeah. So now the guys have a goal in mind. They are going to split up, and each of them has to try to figure out how to get tickets and then come and meet back. And then they'll figure out about the car and everything else.
Mm-hmm. So Jam is pulled into a church by his mom. So he doesn't even get to try and find a way to get tickets.
No.
Because he is forced to confess his sins immediately. And the way the mom reacts to this priest, like kissing up on his hand.
She looked like she about to suck his dick in the confessional. Okay? Like 100% ready to clown with the priest.
Yeah.
Winshay is so good, y'all. Like, oh my gosh. She's so believable. She's so good.
And the priest is a horny little bastard too.
Yeah.
Because he wants Jam's confession to be dirty. And he's like, I really don't. I just wanted to go to a concert with my friends. And
right.
He literally leaves him in the confessional. Is like, get your shit together. Find me a dirty story. Okay.
Right.
But enter a dirty story. Beth is across the street eating dinner with her family. They're on the drive to their new house. And she sees Jam and she's like, I just want to go say goodbye. So her parents let her go say goodbye. She gets in the confessional with him, tells him that she's had a crush on him for forever. And then they bone in the confessional.
Yeah, apparently that confessional was like the size of an airplane bathroom. It was really tight, and it took them like about 3 days to film.
I was so jealous of her as a young viewer. Jam was my jam when I was little. Like when I was younger, I was like, oh, he was like one of my first crushes when I watched this movie.
But was it this movie or the movie The Jungle that you first fell in love with him?
It was this movie.
Oh, okay.
This was like the first movie that I think that I realized I had a huge crush on Sam Huntington. But as I got older, it was Edward Furlong's character who did it for me and not Sam. Like, I was just like, wait, what? How does this even this is kind of weird, but even Trip was like more like, I was like, oh, okay, what's happening? As I was like older, I was like, I'm more attracted to them, but when I was younger, it was Sam. So that's what's funny. Did you know that Jonathan Taylor Thomas was also supposed to play Jam?
I could see it, but also glad he wasn't in it.
Same. I can't see it. I cannot see him in that role. Like,
He's
kind of like the
wholesome, it feels like.
Yes, I can see him as like the sheltered boy, you know, Lin Shaye's son, sheltered boy, but not like the rebellious teen going to a Kiss concert. Like, I just can't see it.
Well, even he was in an episode of Veronica Mars. So Sam Huntington was also on Veronica Mars. But anyway,
oh wow.
And like he plays an FBI agent posing as a student, and he's supposed to be like all hard and big and bad and stuff. I'm like, I don't believe you, Jonathan.
It would have been a good stretch. Like, I could see him wanting to take it because it would have been outside of his like teen idol thing, but I think they got the best cast for this.
Definitely.
And so
which guy are we following next? So we did
well, so the end of Jam's whole thing, because these stories are intertwined, but we'll do
one guy
character
at a time.
by character. So the end of Jam's arc is he like stands up to his mom. He goes back out. He confronts her. He's like, where the fuck are my drumsticks? I'm going to this concert. By the way, I just lost my virginity in the confessional. And what does he say? I wrote it down because it was so good.
His speech is so good.
Well, during the scene though, I will say the mom looked a little like she looked a little sad because he was like, instead of trying to like parent me and talk to me, you're just shipping me off, and you know,
he's like, you're a terrible mother. You're just a terrible mother. And
and she looked really like you could see tears kind of welling up in her eyes.
Again, A+ acting from Lin Shaye.
Yes. What was it, Jackie?
He said, I just lost my virginity in a confessional booth. Lord have mercy. Where are my drumsticks?
Yeah, give me back my fucking drumsticks.
Yes. She had broken one of them, and he's like, that's cute.
Yeah, he's like, cute.
And Beth does say that she'll call him. So like she's going to Ann Arbor, and she got him a shirt that said Mystery on it, which was super cute, which is the name of their band. So long distance relationship. I mean, they're still in the same state. I think she went to Ann Arbor.
In the strip club.
Yes, please, let's talk about that whole scenario.
This makes me so uncomfy. Okay, so
I know.
Hawk runs into a scalper, and he's like, it's $75 for tickets, and Hawk's like, I don't have that money. And the scalper plays Aaron in Bring It On.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how did I miss that after seeing this 100 times? How did I not? That's crazy. The one who says shake your wee wee?
Yes. Yes, because he's like, oh, I don't have enough money for this. He's like, well, they're doing a show over there. Go shake your wee wee over there, and the prize money is $100.
I want a shirt that says that.
I can make you a shirt that says shake your wee wee.
Let's do it. That's awesome.
So Hawk goes in, and he's like, yeah, I can do this. And then he's sitting at the bar. He's like registered or whatever. And the bartender, he has a fake ID that looks nothing like him.
Nothing.
And so he goes in, the bartender gives him a whiskey on the rocks, and it's very Can't Hardly Wait, where he's like, this has turned, it's bad.
He spits it out everywhere, and he goes, it's gone bad.
Yeah. So he continues to drink it afterwards. And so when it's his turn to get on stage, and mind you, remember, he said he had stage fright before.
Right.
But now he's got that liquid courage. He gets up on stage, starts to perform to My Boogie Shoes, and then immediately starts violently vomiting into a pitcher.
Which is like apparently, I guess it made other people on set nauseous, like seeing the scene, even though it was
Vinegar.
and it was a hose
Yeah.
on the side of his
Ooh.
face. So it wasn't him throwing up, but yeah.
Gross.
It was gross. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really gross. And he does it, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna get back up here and dance to kiss.
And it is the most white boy dance ever.
Yes.
And then he like gets completely undressed to his boxers. He's gyrating and thrusting around. And then he hasn't taken his shoes off. So he's like trying to get his pants off, but his shoes are on and he's stumbling around. All the meanwhile, there's this beautiful blonde lady, like probably late 30s, early 40s, sitting at the bar, just ogling him. He is a high school student.
Gross.
Yeah. You guys, I didn't notice this the first time around. And like, wow. Like I don't know. If it had been a guy in this situation with like a girl
Right.
from high school, it would have been like, whoa. But like everyone, like growing up, I was just like, everyone's like, oh cool, like he's getting this chick, he's getting this like hot
Right.
chick, you know. And like now when I watch it, I'm like, oh, this is so cringe. She's giving him money, she's giving like, oh
It's
no.
so bad
I
on so many
know.
levels. I know it's supposed to be like a male fantasy kind of situation, but
But she's
it's
clearly
just
an old lady and he is in high school, so
right.
it's very
And
cringe.
she recognizes that he's young. It's not like
Yeah.
she doesn't know because he's in there with a fake ID
Right.
and stuff. Like she knows.
I just feel like if she had all that money, could we have not, like, could you not wine and dine me? Could I not have been taken to a hotel at least? We got to
Right.
do it in your Humpty
no
Humpty
time.
Dump car.
Yeah, all this kid was thinking was kiss tickets. He didn't
Yeah.
care what was happening. or
Oh
where
my
it was
God.
happening.
So
And
she
then-
says she doesn't want him to have whiskey dick, but then he comes too fast. It's just like a lot
Oh
happening.
my God, it was so bad.
But at the end, he's like, I don't want to tarnish this experience by taking money from you. And she's
Look
like,
how
it's not for the sex. Just spend it on whatever you need the money for. And
Look how
that's
she's
good enough
groomed
for
him. He
I
wasn't even
know.
taking the money.
Straight groomer.
Ugh.
And of course, this role is played by Gene Simmons' wife at the time. I think they divorced. Did they divorce or are they still together?
What was her name? I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. I think they're divorced. But
Oh, Shannon Tweed.
Shannon Tweed, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild.
Oof. Okay, let's go into trips, which is
Batshit
for
crazy.
a whole another reason.
Dr. Love.
Oh God.
Oh,
He
they're
goes-
still married. Sorry. They're still
Oh,
married.
they are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, good for them.
So Tripp's idea, he runs into the same shake your wee wee scalper. And so he's like, I need $75. So he goes in to a convenience store. First, he accosts two little kids that are just playing with the Stretch Armstrong outside the store, steals their Stretch Armstrong doll, makes them cry. And then he goes in and he's trying to figure out what he's going to do to get this money. He sees a kid full Kiss makeup playing the Kiss pinball machine, which was loaned by a local Kiss enthusiast for this scene. And he's like, gonna mug this child for his Kiss tickets.
He's not the brightest, so can't be surprised. But he really did bark up the wrong fucking tree because this kid is not to be played with. Because what's his brother's name?
Did he though? Because it all led to a
Congo.
series of events
I
that worked
know.
out in their favor. But
Yeah.
still, yeah, for sure. Chongo.
Chongo. That man was a beast.
He was a
Apparently, that was Adam Rifkin's nickname too, or something.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah, like that was like his nickname, and like maybe that is his nickname, and that's why they use that name or something.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Chongo.
So the kid calls Chongo over. Chongo roughs up Trip. And so Trip's like, okay, well, I need another way to earn the money. And so he sticks the Stretch Armstrong doll in his pocket and is going to pretend like it's a gun and rob the place. And there's this really cute high school blonde convenience store clerk at the counter. And as he's walking up to like hold her up to get the money, another guy with a fucking shotgun just walks up and is like holding up the place now.
Kiss the floor. But I do like that he has a moment where his friends are like his conscience before the guy comes with the gun, but to say like, you really shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Which I think is sweet that,
right.
You know, they're the voices in his head.
And
because
so
he knows he's stupid.
He like tries to hold up the robber or prevent the robber from robbing the convenience store. And then the robber kind of calls his bluff. And then all of a sudden they're fighting over like one hand. They each have a hand on the shotgun and each have a hand on the Stretch Armstrong. And they're stretching it. And he lets go, smacks the robber, who lets go of his gun. And so he's able to save the convenience store from being robbed. And the clerk jumps over the counter and like thanks him. And this is where we get the "Who are you?" And he has a mask on. And he's like, Dr. Love. And
oh
she
my
just starts
God.
making out with them.
She also like, the guy that the robber, how he gets knocked out, like how hard did he get hit by this toy that he's knocked the fuck out, like cold. And then when the cops come, she's like, Dr. Love left, and like she gave him reward money, so he has like $150 or something like that. So I don't know, so convoluted, crazy, but sounds about right.
Chongo finds him in the alley and beats him up and steals his wallet. And then he's like laying there and he's like, well, at least I still got my Stretch Armstrong. And then the kids come by and take it back. So
he should have never stole from those poor children. They didn't do nothing wrong.
They didn't. The youth. And now we have Lex's story. And he sneaks in the back, like where the roadies are. Right. He's pretending to be a roadie, but security sees him and it's a whole mess of chase scenes. Somehow he slides down an escalator.
I don't know how he didn't.
Women.
How did he not hit his junk on those little circle things as he was sliding down?
I didn't even think about that.
Because that's what I was thinking about when he was doing it.
But then, like, he lands on a girl. All of these other girls pile on top of him. And by the time the security guards get to him, somehow he is on a ledge above everyone.
This man.
Does he have superpowers?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But then, like, more chasing and stuff. Eventually, he's thrown back out into the alley. And there's, like, junkyard dogs just hanging out in the alley. And then he's walking and he sees like sparks flying from this building.
Well, hold on. First of all, he's trying to negotiate with these fucking dogs. They're like Rottweilers and whatnot. And it's very scary. And then a hound dog comes out of nowhere with a frisbee. And so when he throws the frisbee, they all go and chase it, and then he's safe. I want to know the time in between doing that and when he goes into the garage, how he has trained these dogs now to do what he wants. That's one thing,
right?
So like he does see some light in the crack, like Jackie was saying, but that's when he realizes that that's his car and these guys have stolen it, and he sees Christine all tied up. But that was my main question, like, how you got these dogs trained in like 5 seconds?
One time and then you're alpha.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's how it works.
He probably fed them some like dumpster food or something, and they became
So he goes in, he's like a knight in shining armor. He confronts the guys and he's like, you're gonna let her go. And he essentially sicks the dogs on the guys. They run into their office. He lowers the car down. Christine is so grateful because he picks the lock of the handcuffs with his
But wait, who are
roach clip.
the bad guys?
One of the guys was in Slums of
Yes, he was a
Beverly
co-star
Hills.
with Natasha in Slums of Beverly Hills, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Kevin Corrigan, and
That's
then
right.
Steve. Sorry, Shrippa.
Shrippa.
I think he was on Sopranos.
Oh, okay. So
And I
yeah.
think he was also the dad, and I hate that I know this, the Secrets of an American Teenager show that was on ABC, the worst fucking TV show ever made.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, Danielle. So yeah,
I had to go back and see for myself about the scalper because I'm just like mind blown by that.
Mind blowing.
Wow, that's hilarious.
I thought we had done all his movies at this point, because we did Legally Blonde and we did Bring It On already. So this was a surprise.
What about Boys and Girls?
Oh yeah, he is in that one. We haven't done that one yet.
I don't know if I've seen that. Does that have Freddie Prinze Jr.? Yes, I have seen that. Okay.
Yeah, Claire Forlani and
wow.
Jason Biggs.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And a random cameo of Monica playing a role, the singer.
I saw on like IMDb or something that Jason Biggs had a cameo in this movie, but I didn't see him.
I saw that too.
It was like it literally had the timestamp too. It was like 15 minutes in that he was in like a blue sweatshirt or something, but I didn't try to go back and see it, but I'm like, now I kind of want to.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So Lex is a knight in shining armor, like I said, and so Christine, of course, starts making out with him.
Right. Because that's logical.
Right. And so
she's like, he's like, you're promised a ride to Disco Inferno.
Yes. My hero.
Yeah, she's like, my hero.
So now all four boys meet in a very deserted, in the middle of a street.
I like how they're just all on each corner and they're like looking at just this scene in general was just hilarious.
Amazing.
And they realized nobody got fucking tickets. They got close. And then, of course, the only solution is to beat each other up and say someone stole their tickets. So they look like they're having so much fun in the scene where they're beating each other to bits.
I was waiting for the cast of Anchorman to show up as like another gang with just random weapons.
That's hilarious.
So they walk up to the gates of the concert venue and explain they were mugged. The ticket takers are like not really believing them, but then Trip spots Chongo inside and he's like, it's him right there. and Chongo's like, I've never seen these people before in my life, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, he has my wallet with my Kiss Army photo ID in it.
And my $150 or whatever.
Yeah. And so apparently security at a concert venue has the authority to like citizens arrest and search patrons.
Right.
Yeah.
But they find out that Chongo does have his wallet with his photo ID. And so they throw Chongo and his group out, give them the ticket stubs, and they get to go to a Kiss concert. And so
it's literally the best ending to a movie ever. Like it's so good and so like you're just like, yes, I wish I was them right now. And their faces, they just like when they're walking in like slow motion, like Trip has got like the like biggest cheese smile on her face, like a little kid walking into Disneyland, and then all the rest of them are just like, what just happened? Because they have no idea who those people were, or like how they had Trip's wallet or anything. And they're just like walking in, and then they just start running. Like, I'm just like, oh, I wish I was them. That's like got to be the best feeling ever.
I love that Trip repeats what the little kid said to him when he was bullying him.
Yes. Tisk,
So
tisk, tisk.
also the band actually reenacted this 1970s era concert with over 3,000 fans for the movie. This movie was filmed in Toronto, so good job to the Toronto fans getting to see them reenact this. I think they did a reunion tour previously to when this movie came out. So yeah, so those guys were actually getting to see Kiss live. So I think some of the faces that they're making are legit.
Real. Yeah. Totally. And then Jam finally gets his other drumstick from the drummer.
Yes. And the song that is playing during the concert montage is Detroit Rock City.
Of course.
It's the culmination of the movie, and the boys are super happy because they got to see Kiss, and that is Detroit Rock City.
Oh, let's go through some of the fun facts that we kind of skimmed over and missed. Could you imagine Edward Furlong as Trip in this movie? Because
he auditioned for that role, right?
Yeah, he auditioned. But I think, what's the guy's name? James. I think James did a really good job. And also, he looks like a completely different person without that long wig. I was like, ugh, I don't like it. It's kind of like when I saw Orlando Bloom for the first time without the blonde hair. I was like,
right. Yeah, because James DeBello and
Giuseppe.
They are in Cabin Fever together, right?
Right.
I
yes.
love Cabin Fever.
Love that movie.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
And then Natasha and Melanie are also in But I'm a Cheerleader. Together.
Yeah. And they did another movie in the 20 something with Jason Ritter, her husband, Melanie's husband, and Clea Duvall, because they're all like besties. Well, Clea and Melanie are like best friends. And
that's awesome. I love them all so much.
We did a post about the three of them, and it did so well. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Everyone likes this trio.
For sure.
Richard Linklater was asked to direct this movie. If you had told me it was a Richard Linklater movie, I would have 100% believed you. It has that feel to it.
The film takes place in 1978. Kiss's Alive 2 tour hit Detroit on January 21st and 23rd of that year. So the film crew did consider editing the film down from an R rating down to a PG-13, but then they thought it would have been disastrous. And I think it was the best bet. Maybe they would have gotten... I don't know
how they would have done that. Like, honestly, there's no way.
Yeah, there was too many tits out in one scene.
For sure.
On the highway, Christine makes a remark about the possibility of Kiss producing a disco song, and the boys laugh it off. But in real life, Kiss did release a hit disco song, I Was Made for Loving You, in 1979.
I was made for loving you, baby.
Have y'all seen Why Him?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's like one of our go-to Christmas movies every year now. It's got James Franco. And he's like a shitty boyfriend that the girl brings home to meet her parents for the first time, or rather they come to his house. And Kiss is also in that movie as well. And there's a bunch of Kiss songs. Music. Yes, it's so good. It's so funny.
The other movie with a lot of Kiss music is Role Models.
Oh, yes. That's another one. Yes.
Where the little kids just rocking out to Love Gun. And I'm just
he's like, see, Ronnie, the gun is his dick. I love that movie so much.
The words fuck, fucking, or fucker are said 83 times in this movie.
Heck yeah.
Hence, rated R, not PG-13.
Right.
Much of the memorabilia used in the film is from Gene Simmons' personal collection. And this was the first film to be released on DVD before VHS.
So it was like the first movie of the coming of the shift.
Yes.
To strictly DVD. So each member of the band, Mystery, mirrors a member of Kiss. They even get together with girls appropriate to their counterparts. So Hawk is like Paul Stanley and gets the supermodel. Jam is like Peter Criss and gets Beth, named after his solo song. Trip is like Ace Frehley. Is that how you say his last name?
Sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And gets the spacey girl. Lex is like Gene Simmons and gets Christine, named after one of his trademark songs. Nice. So thought that was kind of cool. So before we get into the ratings, Megan, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you again on social? And also remember to check out Megan's trailer episode and go back to season 2 and listen to her join us for The New Guy, which was also a lot of fun if you haven't listened.
Yeah. I also noticed while doing this that there are a couple like similarities between Detroit Rock City and The New Guy. One of them being like the bathroom scene.
Yes.
So, like, the girls have the bathroom scene, but then also like there's a bathroom scene that's kind of similar in The New Guy. And then also, isn't there like an intercom scene where like he's talking to the school over the intercom or something like that? I just like had like deja vu when we were talking about that. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram at my handle is at Tape Girl with 2 eyes, and that is my only social media account that I have. So
as usual, you can check us out at No More Late Fees on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Threads. And I'm going to start with you, Megan. What is your today rating of Detroit Rock City?
Oh, would buy again on every format possible.
Jackie?
Would buy. I happily bought it for this episode.
And I would say the same. I just think it just has the nostalgia and it's fun. It is. And some of the things that didn't age well weren't great, but like wasn't enough for me to be like, oh God, this was like hard to rewatch.
Yeah. Right. Which is a big step up from The New Guy, which wasn't y'all's favorite.
Well, if you have any comments about Detroit Rock City or want to talk about the band you do anything to see, hit us up at our quick drop 909-601 and MLF 909-601-6653. Twat us at the Twitters, hem us at the Threads, or leave a message on our Spotify for Podcasters account, and you can be featured on a future episode. Megan, thank you so much for hopping on with us. This was amazing, and I'm so glad that you were able to do one of your favorite movies with us.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much for having me on for this movie. I love hanging out with you guys. It's always such a fun time.
Amazing.
We love having you.
We do.
Thanks, you guys. Sweet.
And as always, be kind and rewind.